is setting up your line items. To recap, you create an advertiser first, then underneath the advertiser you create your campaigns, and within your campaigns you create your line items. Your line items for targeting and where you input your targeting fields of what you would like to buy against. You can navigate to your line items via the trafficking dropdown or by selecting your campaign. Underneath your campaign, if you click through, you will see your line items. To create a new line item, you click New Line Item. First, you need to name your line item. There are 3 types of line items: banner, video, native. All of these types of activity has to be created on separate line items. You are unable to run banner creatives and video creatives on the same line item. Be sure to select the correct one. Once you save a line item, you'll be unable to change this field. For the example, I'm going to select banner. You must select your start date. You can go more granular within this date by selecting the clock. End date is optional. If you are using a pacing bidding strategy, you must select your end date. There are 3 types of budget within the platform: spend, spend with vendor fees, impression. Impression and spend are fairly self-explanatory. Spend with vendor fees allows you to input a budget on the line item, and that budget will include any additional third-party or first-party costs. That is whether you create your own personal vendor fees or whether you're using any third-party, brand safety, viewability fees. It will mean that the cost of media, which is the cost that you submit to the supply side to bid and buy the inventory, plus any additional costs, will all be included in the budget that you input on the line item. Once you've selected your budget type, you need to input your budget. For this example, I'm going to use $1. You can also input a daily budget. This is optional. It will be a required field if you choose a pacing bidding strategy which paces daily. Revenue type is the same as on the campaign, and this is purely for tracking reasons. You can select how you would like to track your revenue, and this will appear in the reporting so you are able to calculate your profits. On the line item, we have multiple standard bidding strategies that you can choose from the drop-down. Some without pacing and some with pacing. When you select the bidding strategy, it will show you the other inputs that you need to require to use this bidding strategy. If you use one with pacing, it will have with pacing in the name, and you will be able to choose whether you would like to pace daily, lifetime, or with a flight. If you are choosing daily pacing, you will need to input a daily budget cap. For this example, I'm going to use flat CPM bidding and bid $1. You're able to input 3 frequency caps at the interval minute, hour, day, week, exactly the same as the campaign. Be sure to check that your campaign settings don't conflict with your line item settings. You can choose whether you would like to bid shade. Bid shading will take any first price auction environment and it will aim to reduce the price that you're bidding. For more information on bid shading, you can read some help docs on the Beeswax portal. You also have the option to input your alternative ID, the same as on your advertiser and line item. This allows you to map any third-party or external platforms or reporting to your activity in Beeswax. Then you can toggle between active and inactive. Once you toggle a line item to active, if the advertiser and campaign is active, you will begin buying media immediately. So please be cautious to make sure that you have all the right settings before toggling to active. Let's have a quick recap. You've named it, you've added the line item type, you have your start date and your budget, you've selected your bidding strategy, and that's all the required fields. To continue, you can save and continue. This will bring you to our targeting page. This is where you select the parameters that you would like to filter your bidding on. You can choose whether you want to contextually filter by selecting domain lists or app lists, placement lists. You can simply include or exclude by clicking the tick or the cross or toggling between the two here. There are many different filters: content filters, environment types, ads.text, filtering on web and app, and many more. To simply add these to your targeting, you can just click in the box and it will be added here. You can filter by exchanges. You can also filter the exchanges which are available for your type of targeting by selecting the type that you're using, whether that's CTV, mobile app, desktop web. And you can just tick the different exchanges that you would like to choose. You can choose whether you want to filter between first price and second price auctions. You can filter on multiple different geo levels, country. Simply write in the country that you want to filter and you'll see the drop down. Region, metro, city, lat long list, zip code lists. Platform allows you to filter on the devices, whether that's browser, carrier, device make, device model. The most common here is probably device type, filtering on desktop, mobile, tablet, for example. And again, simply include or exclude by toggling between the two. Our time is a drag and drop, and you can select different time zones. We also have some shortcuts if you would like to select work hours, after work, sleeping time, weekends, prime time. To remove a time, just drag over the area and it will remove. The default is user-based on user location-based time zone. You can also base this time on an Eastern time zone. If you are using pacing, make sure to make the most of our time zones for pacing feature. This allows the pacing to understand, out of the geos you've selected on a line item, what time zones are these and how much time does it truly have to pace across. So make sure that your time zones for pacing, when using a pacing algorithm, are selected to reflect the geos that you're targeting on the line item. You also have the ability to add any first-party segments or third-party segments. If these are not enabled for your BuzzKey, please reach out to your account manager and they will be able to share these with you. By clicking the drop-down, you'll be able to see all of the targetable segments. You also can filter whether the user ID is present or not, include and exclude. Once you've selected all of the targeting parameters you would like to filter your bid requests on, you're able to review a targeting summary. This gives you just a quick summary of everything that you will be bidding against on this line item. If you would like to quickly edit one section, so here for inventory source you've decided actually I don't want one of these, you can click quickly on the edit button and it will take you straight through to the exchange where you can change, and you can go back to the review page by clicking at the top. We do have a new ability that within a side tab here, you are able to OR targeting fields. So if you would like to OR an app bundle list and an app ID list, you can select these two. This will then allow you to select whichever app bundle list and app ID list that you want to OR logic. The OR logic you will see in the review will say that the bid request must include at least one of the app bundle or the app ID. So it may be that an item in both of these lists are present, or it's present in the app bundle list, or it's present in the app ID list. Once you have your targeting, the next step is to add your creatives. Once your creatives are uploaded, they'll appear in this drop-down and you'll be able to select the creative, whether you want these creatives to have specific start and end dates, or simply leave these sections blank if your creatives can run indefinitely or to the dates of the line item. And once you've selected your creative, you add association and your creatives will appear underneath here. You're also able to add your vendor fees, any third-party vendor fees that you're targeting, whether that's Mo IIS. These will be automatically added, you don't need to add these, but if you have any first-party vendor fees that you would like to add to the line item, you can add them here and they will show here. Once you've done that, you save and exit, and you will see that your line item appears underneath the campaign and your line item is then ready to serve. This is set to inactive. If you do want to activate it, there's a couple of ways. You can click on the box here, edit selected, and toggle to active here. Or you can click on the drop down here and make active. You're also able to duplicate, delete, and edit line items via this drop down. You're all set. Now you are ready to run programmatic activity in Beeswax.